So I'm sure by now most of you know about the whole James Gunn incident. As of now, he's been fired. I think that was earlier this morning that I heard news of it. For those who don't know, I mean, if you don't, you're living under a rock at the moment because it's big news. James Gunn was found to have tweeted some very offensive things. It was quite a few years ago though. Somebody did some digging and they basically found tweets that were verging on paedophilia. I've read through them. I'm not gonna put them up on here. I'm not gonna read through them myself because they're very easily available, and to be honest, some of them just make me sick, even reading them. But some of them are just, you can tell, are just bad jokes. But some of them are really creepy. Talking even jokingly about having sex with 13-year-olds. Linking a video of underage girls touching themselves and saying that he would touch himself to those images is just disturbing. Very disturbing. I've seen a lot of different opinions on this. There's the one side which say, oh, this was from so long ago, it's obviously a joke, why are you taking it so seriously, he shouldn't have lost his job, which I understand, and I am a proponent, I have been a vocal proponent of free speech and people not jumping to conclusions or taking offence at minor things. The problem I have with this is these aren't minor things. It's not jokingly making a remark about a female or that could be construed as sexist. It's literally saying a monkey jacked off on a kid and saying he found it hilarious. It's literally saying that he would like to have sex with children. I know he's saying that it's a joke. It may well be, but though you can't say those things. It's about children. Children are completely taboo when it comes to sex. It's just not, I feel physically ill talking about this. I don't know what possessed the man to tweet those things. As for him being fired, Disney really has, they have the ability to do that, and they're going to want to because it hurts their brand. It's going to lose them money. If less people go to see the films that this man is involved with, then they're going to lose money from that. And from a business perspective, they completely have the right to get rid of him, even though the tweets were from so long ago. The only problem I have with it is I was thinking it through in my head. Why did they not check through his social media accounts before they hired him? And I think I did hear a rumour that these tweets were brought up briefly before the first Guardians film. I sort of brushed under the carpet. Now, I mean, for a regular job, you're not going to expect your employer to go through your social media. I work in retail. There's no way your employer is going to check your social media account. But this is slightly different. When you're a major Hollywood producer, director, actor, and you're being hired for a role, I would have thought that they'd have some kind of checks on these things because it's all about public image. And the fact that they glazed over these quite glaringly disturbing tweets from James Gunn is a bit strange to me, and why they hired him in the first place. And now it's come to the front of the news, come to the front of public view. They want to get rid of him. Which I completely understand. And I just read through this article quickly, actually, and it's basically James responding to what has happened. And despite how sickening what the things that he said were, I do kind of respect the man for what he says here. So, I mean, on Thursday, Gunn sent several tweets. What website are we on? Stroud News and Journal. I'll give them a bit of credit. There we go. It's not got an author? No. Okay, there's no author. Yeah, so James Gunn has been fired as director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because of old tweets that emerged where he joked about subjects including paedophilia and rape. Some of them didn't even seem like jokes, to be honest. They were just statements. I like. It's hard for me to say this because one of my big things was, if you're trying to be funny, you shouldn't then be punished too much for the outcome of your joke, because he wasn't trying to be offensive. But this is sort of one step across that line, because I'm never going to defend a man who jokes about paedophilia, because that is a taboo of taboo subjects. Gunn has been writer and director of Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. A very, very good film. If you haven't seen it, which I'm surprised if you haven't, go see it now. It's a great film. He's a good director. It's a shame that we're losing him, but he's got to take responsibility for what he's done. And as it says on here, on Thursday, Gunn sent several tweets saying he was sorry for trying in the past to get laughs through shock value. It's a very risky way to get laughs, and he's not a comedian, so I don't know why. I really don't know why he was doing this. The volume of it is quite disturbing as well. It's not just one or two tweets. For the record, when I made these shocking jokes, I wasn't living them out. Well, yeah, that you'd be breaking the law if you were, sir. I know this is a weird statement to make and seems obvious, but still, here I am saying it. Nobody's saying you were living it out, James. I'm sorry, but they weren't. They were just pointing out that it was absolutely heinously reprehensible to even mention the things. Anyway, that's the completely honest truth. I used to make a lot of offensive jokes. I don't anymore. I don't blame my past self for this, but I like myself more and feel like a more full human being and creator today. Love you to you all. Okay, that's not a good sentence, James. Check before you post these things. I would blame your past self, James. Take responsibility for what you've done, which you do actually. In these quotes, he does kind of take responsibility, which is fair enough. The Guardians franchise stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and features the voices. Oh, we don't really need to know that, do we? Gunn issued a statement on Friday apologising for the tweets. He said, "My words of nearly a decade ago were at the time totally failed and unfortunate efforts to be provocative. I have regretted them for many years since, not just because they were stupid, not at all funny, wildly insensitive, and certainly not provocative like I had hoped, but also because they don't reflect the person I am today or have been for some time." And people can change. They really can. And he may well have changed completely by now and not be the same person. But the problem is, he did those things and they were not funny. They were stupid. They were insensitive. Very, very, very insensitive. I'm surprised there wasn't action taken by Twitter at the time, to be honest. Because, I mean, I'm not on Twitter. Maybe I should be, because that's where all the action happens now. But that, whoa, if you put something like that on Facebook, it would be burnt straight away. Regardless of how much time has passed, I understand and accept the business decisions taken today. Yep, Disney have full right to get rid of him. You can't really whine and complain. I mean, if I say posted on social media bad things about my company, they can get rid of me, because it would affect their business. Same with this. He's a very prominent director. And the tweets may be from a very long time ago, but they will affect the value of their franchise. And it's their prerogative to get rid of him. Gunn's current, even these many years later, I took full responsibility. Okay, fair enough. If he owns up, takes responsibility, people shouldn't be going and personally attacking him now. It's all done and dusted. He's lost his job. That's what should have happened. Let him go away. If he can try and rebuild his career and be a better person, that's a good thing. There's no point in kicking a man while he's down. It's all over with now. And I don't condone anyone going and harassing this guy now. Disney did not announce a replacement director for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is a bit sad. I don't know how that's going to go. I didn't really like the second one as much, to be honest. It had some memes in it, but the first one was way better. Gunn had been writing the script, and it is not clear how far along he was or whether new writers will be brought in. Marvel Studios has not announced a release date, though Gunn had said 2020 was the target. That may be set back now because of this. Losing a director is a big thing. as is been seen by Solo: A Star Wars Story. Although that didn't actually have its release date put back, it was just not very good. I also found this one very interesting. Dave Bautista, who plays... Oh my god, why is the name just escaping me? Oh, this is rum again. I shouldn't be doing. He plays the red guy. Why? I can't remember now. Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista defended filmmaker James Gunn after he was fired by Disney for a string of recently resurfaced offensive tweets. Alan Horn, chairman of Walt Disney Studios, said in a statement on Friday that Gunn, 51, he's 51? He looked pretty good for 51, to be fair, had been fired because the messages written in 2008 and 2009 were deemed indefensible. That's quite correct. The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him. Sort of a standard issue, big company statement. Nothing really to read into there. I was, however, more interested in what Dave Bautista had to say. I will have no more... I can't speak today properly, can I? I will have more to say, but for right now, all I will say is James Gunn is one of the most loving, caring, good-natured people I have ever met. He's gentle and kind and cares deeply for people and animals. He's made mistakes, we all have. I'm not okay with what's happening with him, with what's happening to him. Yeah, I don't agree with you there, Bautista. I mean, we make mistakes, you have to take responsibility for them, even if it was in the past. It's just something you got to do, take it on the chin. He can come back sometime when this is all blown over, hopefully make things better for himself, but just because he's a good person now does not excuse what he's done. On Saturday, Bautista leapt to Gunn's defence, saying that while the director had made mistakes, he did not deserve to be sacked. Again, it's kind of on the line here. It's at the end of the day, it's down to Disney, and they were going to lose money from it because the public's view of him is going to deteriorate, and it's going to devalue their brand, and that's the problem. If it's going to devalue their brand, they can get rid of him. They can do what they want. I will have more to say, but for right now, all I will say is this. James... Okay, yep, that's just the tweet we just read. In one of the old tweets, Gunn wrote, "The best thing about being raped is when you're done being raped, and it's like, woo, this feels great, not being raped." See, everything, all of these tweets are like this. They're not remotely funny. And once you've posted about 10 of these tweets and nobody finds them funny, I don't know why you'd keep doing them. It's very odd. It also came up that he was friends with a convicted paedophile. No, not convicted paedophile. He was convicted of having child pornography. Not quite the same thing, but basically. It's all a bit grimy. He might be a good person now. I don't know him personally, but like I've been saying throughout this video, you have to take responsibility for the things that you've done, and unfortunately he can be held accountable by Disney for his past actions because they can devalue the brand. I'm still a proponent for free speech. I still think you should be able to say what you want to say, but when you're employed by a company, you have to be prepared that that company can do what they want to do, and they can fire you if it affects them. They don't have to. They have their own freedom. They don't have to back you up. It's up to them. And I think what's happened is the right thing. And hopefully this will all settle down now, and we'll get a good Guardians, and the MCU's not going to go SJW, please. I mean, that's another problem. But anyway, guys, it was nice talking to you again. I'll see you soon.